look at what we've done in the last 60 years, and look at what that 60 years has wrought in terms of violence. I mean, it began in really the 60s with at that time the Weather Underground, Carmichael and others, and we kicked God out of the classroom, God out of the schools, and then we had Roe v. Wade in the 70s, and I mean, it just on and on and on. Now today, Netflix, I don't know whether you saw this, Steve, but Netflix, their Cuties program, I don't know what it's called, it's attempting to normalize child, and it's right out in the open. Netflix. Of course, you can take a look at who one of the biggest people behind Netflix is at this point, Obama. But there it is. I mean, we are going down this moral and spiritual slide into this abyss that I don't think we can recover from.
We can't. And see, this is what I want to share. Thank you, Doug. This scripture, I think I beat this scripture so hard into people's minds, but I don't think they got it yet. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? If a nation makes war on God, if a nation is literally bathed in the innocent blood of 80, 100 million aborted people, if a nation is going to cannibal sweeteners, or cannibal taste enhancers, what you don't understand, your DNA is being rewritten. It's being reprogrammed. A nation of cannibals. When you can't even begin to see anything wholesome as a normal husband, normal wife, the word normal makes me a racist. The word normal makes me a bigot. The word pervert makes them the political flavor of the day. Our military caved into perversion, a.k.a. courtesy of the Clintonista three-ring circus of despair, death, and destruction. We're now eating the fruit of it. We're now hearing we're 100, military members and former cabinet members of Trump. Look, he thinks he can dismiss without consequence. He has no clue what the hatred those people have for him, what they're willing to do. Number one, they're willing to lie, cheat, steal, break the laws of the land, do what's unconstitutional, violate the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Rule 88. The Democrats took the narrative from the beginning. The Republicans yielded to the narrative immediately. That pathetic Mr. Magoo excuse of a man, Jeff Sessions, that was nominated as the Attorney General, that's like taking a Barbie doll and putting her up against a Russian, the newest tank, and expecting Barbie's cute little wig to stop the tank. Insanity may not be the best illustration, but insanity. So now we have a military that's divided 50-50. Now we have military assets falling out of the sky and stuff going on that people aren't allowed to know. And we have basically members of our armed services being assassinated at the biggest fort in Texas. I believe the commanding officer of that's just been relieved of duty. You and I talked about this years ago about infiltrators in the military.
Yes, we did.
We did. And now you're seeing it. Somebody's killing somebody. Oh, it doesn't matter either, by the way, that the situation, the military never tell you the truth about how one of their naval ships caught fire. They'll never tell you the truth. It wasn't human error. It was a third party attacking it. Let's go to the fires now. We just had in Montana in a place that you were here once, but up in the mountains that you would have seen out in front of you from the Holiday Inn up Bridger Canyon. Yeah. I think an 11,000-acre fire that burned some of the most beautiful land, actually beautiful and most expensive land in this whole area. I mean, fabulous beauty. It's the stuff on the road to the ski hill, Bridger Bowl. No lightning, no open campfires, but guess what? In Washington State, in Oregon State, and California State, they're finding fire-starting supplies. They're finding that maybe Antifa or some other group is setting these fires unintentionally. They are setting the fires intentionally, and I was going to say on purpose. That's the gameplay right out of Bezmenov's plan and Stanislav Lunev, Russian defectors that said when Russia was ready to attack the United States, they would burn out the forests of the West. They would use asymmetrical warfare at first until they were discovered as being behind it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a communist overthrow underway in the United States, do you think it's beyond somebody taking it upon themselves to go out and start a fire, to tie up assets, to burn out your nation's financial reserves? I don't think so at all. And by the way, if you look at the West Coast primarily, all of those areas are controlled by Democratic governors. And remember who the Democratic governors are at war against: the living God. You can't say they're not. They already are. They've declared there will be no God on this platform, probably by Allah. That's what they'll say. Or Black Lives Matter. When I told you, watch Black Lives Matter morph into the Black Panthers. This is before it happened. The Black Panthers will morph into ISIS and will accept and promote militant Islam in the United States. You haven't seen that yet and the full effect, but you will. So as we tell people what's going on, Doug, they have to recognize this. If you do nothing, you're dead. If you do something, you may either save the lives of your loved ones, or because you've taken a stand for righteousness, resisting evil, that God will deliver you too. But if he doesn't, then we go to be with Jesus. And that's the thing. The world is not the panacea. The world is not the cradle of joy. Whether a girl, whether a boy. Things are no longer just a toy, because what's going to matter in the end is what we can eat and where we can drink water. The Walmart situation is becoming more in our face and problematic. The FEMA camps are being activated. Military troops are moving. Even in the woods of Idaho and in Montana and some of the areas up along the Canadian border, special operations are driving side-by-side 4x4s, that ATV vehicles that are souped up. They've got extra fuel. They've got extra tires. And, Doug, they're already being placed in the forests that haven't burned to intercept those who will run to the forest when they need to run to the forest.
Yeah.